Today I'm happy because I walked out of the house at 6 a.m. this morning in shorts and a t-shirt, and it was warm enough that it was perfectly comfortable. It's been a long time coming this year, but finally some warmer weather. Pretty stoked about it. Gonna go running it.
How was your run?
Run was good. I did 21 Ks.
Nice.
Bloody nice, have some nice weather.
Yeah. We
So
did
good.
4.5 on the beach. He turns back with whoever gives up first.
Mum was just on her way to go and have a coffee, and I'm not going to knock one back. So while I was out running this morning, I had a great run, by the way. Just one of those perfect runs. But I just started thinking about this run that's always stuck in my memory. It was right around when I first started, and when I first started, my body was really weak. And I discovered running, realised I really enjoyed it. I wanted to run all the time and for as long as I could, and I got injured pretty soon after starting out, so I had to take some time off. And during that time off, I discovered what ultra running is, via YouTube. Saw Timmy Olsen running Hard Rock. The funny thing about that is I saw him power hiking. I was like, what's this guy doing? He's walking in a running race. That's when I knew nothing. But then I figured it all out. I realised that's what I want to do. And then, but back to the run that sticks out in my mind. So I eased back into running, and then I got to the stage where I felt like I was ready to go for a bit of a longer run, and I ran 15 Ks, which was the longest run I'd ever done at that time. And I was just so happy that I could run, like, after having to take a couple of weeks not running. It was so good. And during the run, I was just picturing what it would be like to run an ultra marathon. Just 15 Ks at the time felt like a really long way for me. I was thinking, imagine getting to the finish line of just like a 50K. It'd be, just imagine how it'd feel like. It was all I could think about for the whole run, and I was just picturing myself running an ultra for that entire run. And then the very next week, I discovered the Eurobilla 56K ultra marathon, which was on that following weekend, and I looked at it, and there was an 11-hour cutoff for 56 Ks. It's got about 2,200 meters of vert, and I thought, well, I could just do that, and if it went really pear-shaped, I could just walk to the finish because it's an 11-hour cutoff. I started calculating the splits, and so the Wednesday before the race, I entered it and went and did it. Previous longest run was that 15 Ks. I just went and did it, and I got it done. And it's definitely not the way I'd recommend getting into running ultras. Definitely you build yourself up, listen to that tried and tested advice that everybody gives. But that's what I did, because I just really wanted to do it and just see if I could do it. I was like, that's what it was. I was like, can I actually do that? Is it possible? And I was pretty sure I could, but I didn't know. So that's still what I love about doing this. It's like getting on the start line of a race and just being shit scared and not knowing if you can do it, knowing you're going to have to suffer, it's going to be really tough, and just, as cheesy as it sounds, heading off into the unknown. It's where it's at, and then you get it done, and it's like the best feeling. So, bit of a story. That's also proof, if you want to run an ultra, you want to run a marathon, if you just want to get in shape, run 5Ks, or just anything you want to do in life in general, you can if you want it badly. If I can get through 56 Ks in the condition I was in at that time, I'll put a photo somewhere on the screen. I was I was weak. My legs were like little sticks. They had not a scrap of muscle on them. From 10 years basically of doing no physical activity and being sick, but I just really wanted to do it. I wanted it so badly just to finish the race, and that's all you ever need, is to just want it. Breakfast and YouTube. Finished work. It's like 35 degrees today. It's super hot, so I'm heading to the beach. Mum just decided at the last minute she's gonna come, so I'm waiting for her to get ready. But you're gonna have to deal with me being shirtless for the second time in this video. Going to quickly finish this one off by giving kind of a review or just my thoughts on the Nathan Rollcraft 12 litre pack that I opened in the last video, because I really like it. I know how hard it can be to find a good pack, and I know it can be frustrating because they're pretty expensive, and when you're an average guy paying full retail price for them, it can get pretty annoying because there is a lot of not very good hydration packs out there. So just going to run through what I like about it. Never thought I'd do this kind of thing, but you know, things have shifted a bit with YouTube. For me, it started out just sort of mucking around, making videos, having something to look back on, documenting some of my training and stuff, to now there's, you know, it's gathered a bit of an audience. You know, I recognize the same names in the comments and stuff, so you know, it's just trying to put stuff out there that people might find helpful, because that's what I love about YouTube and watching vlogs and stuff, is just picking up little things that you can try or utilize in your everyday life. So quickly run through it for you. Decided to come outside and do this because it's such a nice night, so just sitting in the yard talking about hydration packs. It's only slightly weird. Just went to edit this. The audio was pretty terrible outside, so starting with the fit, most important part of any vest. This is by far the best fitting vest that I've ever tried, and I've tried Salomon, Raidlight, Camelback, Ultimate Direction. I've tried a few. This is easily the best. When I got it, literally just dialed in the straps, and I have not touched it since, which is unheard of. I always feel like when I get a pack, I've really got to fiddle around with it and try to get it right. This just set it, forget it. Like, the straps don't come loose. You adjust them where you want them, they stay there. And it's got adjustable side straps, which I've never been a fan of until now. They really let you dial the fit of this in and make the pack hug your body really well. Flask storage. This pack comes with a bladder. I don't use a bladder, so this is not relevant to bladder use, but 2 500ml flasks up front, which it doesn't come with. I wish it did. It's probably the only sort of negative I've found with this vest, but I've been using the Camelback flask, which has worked really well because it's tapered around the end here, and it's got a bit of a hardened mouth around it, so it makes it really easy to stuff in. And then the elastic of the pouch sort of hugs around that mouth, and it doesn't come out, doesn't move, just stays in there really well. And the pocket is really good because it's loose enough that it's really easy to stuff the bottle in, but then it's sort of firm enough that it, you know, holds solid and the flask isn't bouncing around and scrunching down in the pocket like they can do. Then you got these 2 dump pockets up front, which you can just stuff whatever in. They got Velcro tabs on them, which I've found really handy. And you can literally fit quite a bit of stuff in there. So there's 4 gels in one side. Then you got more storage up here on your shoulders. You could fit a heap more food in there if you want. Phone in there. That's a Samsung S8, so it's a reasonably big phone. Easily fits in there. Then we move to rear storage, which there's heaps of, especially when you take the bladder out. That leaves 2 big main pockets and a smaller pocket in between those, all Velcro tab. You can fit a bunch of stuff in there. I'll overlay some footage here, but I had a rain jacket, thermal top, thermal pants, waterproof pants, gloves, first aid kit, map, all sorts of stuff. You can fit a bunch of gear in there. Also got this zippered side pocket to the rear storage, which I think would be a really handy thing. Like if you had to do a mandatory gear check during a race, it's going to be a lot easier to just unzip that and see everything rather than try and fish around for certain things from the top of the vest. But that's pretty much it. The key sort of reasons why I like it. It's just simple, it works, it's really well designed, but it basically just boils down to how well it fits. It's all about the fit. I'm not a gearhead, I just like stuff that works. There's a lot of not great hydration vests out there that they don't fit well, they don't have good adjustment and things like that. I really like this thing. If I was going to recommend a hydration pack to anyone at the moment, that or the 4 litre version of it. So let me know if this is helpful, if you want me to sort of do more of them. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Later.